You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little unsure, to be honest, how he was going to cope with that. I rode him on Thursday without his ear protector on, because I actually like him to really be quite aware of the crowd. But hearing what everyone was saying coming out of the arena, I was like, okay, the ears are going on. And, you know, I think that was probably a good decision. But he was incredible with how focused he stayed, because I did that same freestyle in London. It was the first time I did it 18 months ago. And I really lost his focus a little bit right at the beginning. And then the first 4 movements of the test were a little bit of a car crash. So I think actually having had that happen in the past, I'm really ready, to sort of help him when he needs it. But to be honest, today, right from the get-go, he was just so focused and so with me. And I think, you know, the beauty of the freestyle is that you are able to showcase your horse's strengths. And, you know, he finds the changes on the curve lines very, very easy. And, you know, because he is very good in the balance, he can go from one thing to another, you know, without a struggle. So, I mean, even when I did his first freestyle when he was just 9 years old, you know, my degree of difficulty, without even really thinking about trying to make it hard, was quite hard, just because
that's what he's good at.
Yeah, he can show that off really well.
Welcome to the Dressage Today podcast, featuring conversations with respected riders, industry leaders, and horse care experts. Our goal is to inform, educate, and inspire dressage riders of all levels. I'm Dressage Today editor Alana Harrison. As part of our 2026 Zen Elite FEI Dressage World Cup Final post coverage, this special episode, sponsored by Tribute, features a press conference with the top 3 riders following the freestyle competition: Becky Moody, Christian Simonson, and Sandra Susieva. British dressage powerhouse Becky Moody and her homebred 11-year-old gelding, Jagerbomb, delivered a dynamite and near flawless freestyle at the 2026 Zen Elite FEI Dressage World Cup Final in Fort Worth. Set to a medley of the Beatles hits, the pair's freestyle performance sent them to the top of the podium on a final score of 88.33. A personal best for both of them. Dressage movements are beautiful with or without a soundtrack, but there is something magical in the freestyle when a horse and rider have the technical ability not only to ride to music, but to dance with it. And Moody and Jagerbomb, more commonly known as Bomb, proved to be the ultimate dance partners. From double pirouettes, one-tempis down the center line, and one and two-tempi serpentines, to Beatles favorites like All You Need Is Love, Here Comes the Sun, and I Want to Hold Your Hand, their freestyle included plenty of technically difficult choreography, sending the explosive crowd into an eruption of applause and cheers. To the home crowd's delight, the U.S.'s 23-year-old rising superstar Christian Simonson and 13-year-old stallion Indian Rock brought the crowd to their feet with an explosive freestyle choreographed to the Rocky movie soundtrack to take silver in their World Cup final debut. Also on a personal best score of 83.81. Poland's Sandra Susieva and her 10-year-old mare, Maxima Bella, rounded out the podium on a score of 80.77, marking an impressive leap from their 7th place finish at last year's World Cup final, and underscoring just how quickly the young mare is maturing on the world stage. In this special episode, you'll get a behind-the-scenes feel for the World Cup press room and hear directly from these talented riders, fresh off their 2026 podium finishes. And now, a word from our sponsor. You know that feeling when everything comes together? The rhythm, the balance, the connection? At Tribute Equine Nutrition, that same pursuit of excellence drives us to keep improving. We're upgrading our entire line with advanced formulations to better support your horse's health, performance, and longevity. To celebrate, we're hiding golden tickets in select bags, each one worth 40 free bags of feed, about a year's supply for one horse. Ready to elevate your program? Visit tributeequinenutrition.com for a free personalized feeding plan. If you're new to Tribute, your first bag is on us, and everything we make is backed by a 100% money-back guarantee. Again, visit tributeequinenutrition.com and be sure to mention Dressage Today sent you.
In second place from the United States, Christopher Simonson. And in the center, the number 5 ranked rider in the world, Olympic veteran, and now champion of the 2026 Zen Elite FEI Dressage World Cup Final from Great Britain, Becky Moody. So, Becky, first of all, congratulations. And can you tell us the emotions you're feeling right now?
It's just pretty crazy. I mean, it was just insane to be part of such a cool competition. The crowd in there were absolutely something else. So, to be sat here with these guys is just fantastic. I think all our horses are complete and utter diamonds. And yeah, thank you to all of them.
And the score, did you blow your mind? I mean, we knew you knew that it was great, but seeing it?
Yeah, no, that was brilliant. I mean, I think someone interviewed me earlier on in the week, so, what were your goals for coming? And I said I would like a PB in my freestyle. So, yay.
Mission accomplished. And Christian, when you were in here the other night, you said just being here at the World Cup final was kind of surreal. Tell us what you think. Hearing that crowd support you and Rocky and cheer like they did for you tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. That was at the end of my test, looking up and seeing this wall of people standing up, applauding Rocky, and I was, it was super special. So no, I'll never forget. And he's such a special horse. He deserves every amount of praise. But yeah, this whole week has been a childhood dream come true and unbelievably surreal.
Well, congratulations. Sandra, 7th last year, 3rd this year, this young mare of yours, something special. Tell us about her a bit and, of course, about tonight's ride.
I'm really very proud of her. She's still young and really getting a lot of experience during shows like that. And I'm really proud to be here. So I had to qualify and then we had to travel from Europe here. It's my first time when I'm in the US. And I'm really excited about the show.
Well, tremendous performance tonight. We'll take questions now. Please raise your hand. We have Rachel over there, Joanne here. They'll bring you the microphone. Nobody. I don't believe that. Okay, start Diana. Then we'll come right up this side. Then Nancy, then Katie.
Could each of you say what it was like to be and competing in cowboy country?
It's just been the most incredible experience because I think, as we talked about the other night, it's just this incredible, horse culture everywhere. A very, very different horse culture, but still just the love of horses everywhere is insane. And I think, you really felt that in the arena tonight. I know the audience were from all over the place, but, it's just phenomenal to be part of. Really, really cool.
Kristen.
I don't know, I can say it better than what Becky just said, but I think it's echoing the same thoughts. It's really special to see horse culture, whether it's dressage or jumping, or in this case, cutting and reining. I think, so many people that just have an inherent love of horses. And to see that not only in competition, but all around the city and celebrated, with art and competitions, et cetera, I think it's really special to see. And as a fellow horse lover, it's quite cool to be a part of it.
Sandra.
I agree with Becky, and we were also surprised when we arrived here. Actually, we imagined like a little bit different Texas, but we went to a stockyard, and we saw all that cowboy and horses, and people are so friendly. They all the time asked where I'm from, and then they showed us all their own competitions that we have no clue what you have to do there. So they explained really, really excited.
Now you know what everyone feels like watching dressage.
then they all told us that they will come. So probably the ones who were clapping were the cowboy.
You heard the clapping boo-boo was probably them.
Nancy. No, okay, coming to Katie.
Becky, could you talk a little bit about the degree of difficulty in the test? There was some incredible two-tempis in the circle and a half circle into one-tempis, and your horse stayed so composed where a lot of horses reacted to the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little unsure, to be honest, how he was going to cope with that. I rode him on Thursday without his ear protector on because I actually like him to really be quite aware of the crowd. But hearing what everyone was saying coming out of the arena, I was like, okay, the ears are going on. And, I think that was probably a good decision. But he was incredible with how focused he stayed because I did that same freestyle in London. It was the first time I did it 18 months ago. And I really lost his focus a little bit right at the beginning. And then the first 4 movements of the test were a little bit of a car crash. So I think actually having had that happen in the past, I'm really ready, to sort of help him when he needs it. But to be honest, today, right from the get-go, he was just so focused and so with me. And I think, the beauty of the freestyle is that you are able to showcase your horse's strengths. And, he finds the changes on the curve lines very, very easy. And, because he is very good in the balance, he can go from one thing to another, without a struggle. So, I mean, even when I did his first freestyle when he was just 9 years old, my degree of difficulty without even really thinking about trying to make it hard was quite hard just because
that's what he's good at.
He can show that off really well.
Yeah. And I would love it, the three of you could just talk briefly about your music and choices. And Sandra, I noticed you had the St. Texas put into your freestyle there, and everyone really got behind music that they could recognize.
Yeah, when I saw how people reacted, I was like, maybe I go back.
If you could just a little bit about your music choice, each of you, that would be great.
Okay, let's Sandra go.
Okay. That music was created for Paris Olympics, and I think that it's really suit Maxima very well because she's so elegant and it's a story behind that music. Okay, I did a little bit changes for the Texas, but I really like to listen my freestyle many, many times, and it's not boring.
So with mine, I think, for me it is really important that I enjoy riding to the music. But also when I am choosing my music, I very much have the thought process that I am choosing the music for the audience. Because I think, for the judges, they have so much to do when they are judging a freestyle. They have a huge amount of technical information that they have to think about. They're thinking about your choreography, and honestly, I think how much are they actually aware of the music that you're using? Except maybe the feedback that they get from the crowd a little bit to a degree. So, how the crowd reacts to the music is a really big part of what I'm thinking about. And I think, the Beatles, pretty much everyone loves the Beatles. So it's a fairly safe bet. But I think, doing a new freestyle it's so hard, especially when you've had one that you've really, enjoyed and people have really liked. Trying to find something else is quite daunting, actually. So yeah, it was a big deal to change that one, but I do love it. Yeah.
For the music tonight, obviously, Indian Rock's nickname is Rocky. And so we thought we'd go also, looking forward to Texas. We thought we'd, do some real American classics, and use songs from the movies. And in the freestyle, also we wanted to show kind of like the hero's journey as a part of it. So like we're talking in the beginning, it's the Eye of the Tiger. It's talking about, getting over troubles, etc. And the build up, Dallas and all these amazing songs. And we just really wanted music also to show how powerful he is of a horse. And so I also have a really fun time listening to my music. But yeah, it's based on the Rocky movies from Rocky and the story as well.
Next question, Kim.
Again, for all three of you. Sorry, we're making you work here. First of all, how will you celebrate tonight, and who will you celebrate with? And then after you take a breath and have enjoyed this win, the three of you,
what's next for you and your horses?
What's next for the horse, you and your horses? We'll come after that. So, Becky, why don't you go first on this?
Well, first of all, I'm going to go for a drug test. Woohoo!
Should we bring you another bottle?
Yeah, so if I could have some more water, that would be great. No, so I mean, I have a relatively small little support crew here in Texas. I just have my wonderful groom Kim and Daryl, who's our team manager from British Equestrian. But there are some great people that we've met here. So I will be going to Found a Drink later, definitely. I think maybe a few Jagerbombs. I have seen some Jägermeister here in Texas, so we need to hunt down some Red Bull and we're away. And then I think he will have a month of just hacking out when we get home. Well, they'll have a week in the field and then a month of hacking out. Our main goal for the summer is the World Championships in Aachen. So I will probably look to try and get him to as buzzy an outdoor show as I can find for him, because I kind of want, knowing what Aachen will be like for the World Championships. I just want to find an outdoor show to do before that. But yeah, he won't do too much more now.
Of course, when we fly back home, we will have some rest. And our aim is also Aachen. And we will do some shows in between. Because for maximize, I think really important to compete like at least one time in a month to keep her in shape. Otherwise, she's becoming a little bit wild. And yeah, that's good. To keep her all the time, I want to say all the best for her.
Tonight, my family's here, my sister and my parents, and a lot of excited family. So we'll definitely be celebrating with them tonight. And it meant a lot to me that they're here tonight. And then after this show, Rocky will also have some downtime. And then we have the U.S. Championships next month in Ocala. And then we'll see what the summer entails. It felt kind of surreal doing this journey already. So we'll see how the rest of the summer goes.
Anyone over your right shoulder maybe you might like to celebrate with?
Yes, absolutely. And Rocky, the owner, Heidi and Dee, seeing them on the podium today, I was starting to tear up a lot. It's really special. And I'm so happy to hear it. I think you could see the enjoyment as well. Obviously, there's I have extra bias, but it's very true. I think you could see throughout the show the impact that U.S. Dressage is having, and that was a huge part of the Sen sponsorship this year. And I think you could really see that. I mean, it's very palpable to see how much the sport's growing and how exciting it's getting.
Yeah, we're all very, very grateful for the support that the show has had. So thank you very much indeed.
And Heidi Humphreys, the Zen Elite team, we thank you so much, not just for what you have done for this World Cup final, but really, and the rider was saying it the other night as well, for the sport of dressage in this country. We all owe you so much. And congratulations on that. Next question.
Karen. Hi, Christian. I was really wondering from a rider's perspective, what does it feel like to ride Indian Rock? He's so almost double jointed looking. He's so flexible and
that is how he feels like he's riding a cloud. I mean, to give a visual, whenever I'm doing half passes of pirouette passage, I see his entire hoof. I'm sure it's also probably how it is riding Bella as well, I'd imagine. But I think the biggest thing I guess is so honest. And so it feels like, okay, you're saying, I want pirouette now. He's like, okay, I'll do it. I want passage now. Okay, I'll do it. And that's my favorite feeling about him. And on top of that, to have these big scopy movements that feel like riding a cloud. It's a very, very special feeling.
Anybody else? I mean, they do want to celebrate, but they know that they can celebrate right here with all of us, I was kind of hoping you'd all say that everyone's invited.
Oh, yeah.
Just a quick question.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Christian, did you study in Texas or at University of Texas?
Yeah, I did a semester of school at UT Austin online, actually, during COVID.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess I feel kind of part of the Texas
That's what I was like.
heritage.
I wasn't sure if you had spent time here before, but you were a little bit of a Texan then by just.
Yeah, a little
yeah,
bit.
okay.
So,
that counts.
I've been Waco, but yeah, that's about it.
And I would say after tonight, you are clearly part Texan. This crowd here loved all three of you, and it was really...
I'm available. I'm wondering if they're available for hire, the crowd. yeah, we're going to take them everywhere.
Well, you might get some takers on that. Well, we want to take a minute, in addition to congratulating the three of you, congratulating Heidi and your team, Derek Brock.
Thanks for listening to this special episode of the Dressage Today podcast. And a big thank you to the episode's sponsor, Tribute. You can subscribe to the Dressage Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen. While you're there, please rate and review the show. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Alana Harrison, and you've been listening to the Dressage Today podcast.